to Atlanta. Crisis Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's class. April the 11th, we got the black party that's gonna have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under commended Junior Hunter.
Our great and holy King have honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. There's no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom.
Tick tock, 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 tick tock.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm solid. How you doing, sister?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Thanks for joining us here today.
No problem.
We're here at the podcast, and I'm talking with
Precinct Officer 1000, Nakashwan of the ISUPK.
and we're here today to talk with Officer Nakashwan because he is the director. I think you said you were the producer,
Creator.
progenitor, all of that above,
All the things.
all of the things of the Dark Side of Fatherhood series.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone has seen all over their YouTubes, Facebook, TikToks, Instagrams, all over the place.
Mhm.
And, he was willing to give us this time to try to get to know a little bit about him, about the Dark Side series, and everything he's trying to do. So I thank you for being here today, brother.
Thank you.
Just to start out, kind of light, kind of airy.
Yeah.
So it's obvious from the series that you're a father, or I can assume that you're a father.
Right.
Tell me about when you first found out you were going to be a dad. How did you feel then?
Yeah, so, when we first found out, we were happy. I was elated, and because it's something that I always wanted to be. Most black men feel like that. You feel like you want to be the thing that you were deprived of. And my father was around, but I wanted that responsibility, and I wanted that task. So I felt amazing about it. Yeah.
So the little girl we see in the videos, is that your daughter, or is that just like an actress or something like that? Somebody you got on stand-in?
No, that's my daughter, Heaven.
Mm-hmm. How old is she?
She is 10 today.
Oh wow! I mean, that's amazing. I would have never thought you had a 10-year-old daughter, but
Yeah, it bees like that sometimes.
So how'd you feel when you found out she was going to be a girl? Or did you guys find out, like, or was it just like?
Yeah. I found out and I was like, oh, all right, here we go, you know. And all brothers, you know, we want boys, obviously, but the Lord chose to give me a girl. So I was excited about it. I didn't know what it entailed, you know, but I'm glad I got a girl.
And then what about when you first, I mean, I guess your first time holding Heaven, or when she was born, how'd you feel then? Like,
It was, it's an interesting story because, like, I was a lot bigger, you know, I was a little bit more jacked. Yeah, I was jacked back then, so I was always so nervous of holding her because I thought I was gonna, you know, break her. She's so small, you know. But the first time I held her, it was at the hospital, and again, I didn't know how to do it, you know. So the picture looks pretty awkward, but it definitely felt good for sure.
Yeah. So the series is pretty heavy in and of itself. I really didn't want to get there so fast, but you know, I gotta ask a question that people want to know. Can you kind of walk us through what got you to where you were in the first episode?
Yeah, most definitely. So I was, of course, in a relationship with her mom, and around that time, much like any brother who is, you know, going through certain things, you kind of don't understand why. You don't know what the fuck is happening. You kind of just, you go with the flow. And being in a dark place it's torturous, especially when you're doing it alone. Like, the world doesn't have empathy for a black man that's going through something. The world says, oh, well, this guy is a drunk and you're this, and there's no outlets for you. There's no nothing. When you vent, you know, you're a bitch. If you don't say nothing, you're a bitch. So it's like, well, like what do you do? And at that time, you know, in my late 20s going into the 30s, you don't know who you are as a man. So you kind of just walking around like a drifter with no purpose, no nothing, and that's where I was. So when Heaven was born, I remember her mom being a little bit more on the edge, you know, and then postpartum depression kicked in, you know, and what I was doing was trying to give her the information about it. And ultimately, I believe that is one of the factors for not only my depression, but the family splitting. You know, it's a thing that sisters go through that they're not aware that they're going through. And unfortunately, the family will suffer because of it. So I picked up a habit because of the pressure and the stress of being a black man. And yeah, and that pressure, what we call a demon, you know, we call it a demon. It did get the best of me.
So we get to see a little bit of your demons, as you called it, in the dark side. But I mean, you don't look like you got any demons on you now. So I mean, can you kind of tell us a little bit about how you got through that, how you got out of that? Like, what would you do to fight those demons? To I guess to not succumb to that pit of despair.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I got down here, you know, I didn't have any family here. I didn't have any family here. And I had just been talking to like people up north, right? So I was talking to a specific brother, and he was giving me counsel. His name is Captain Katazar of the ISUPK. And he said to me, he said, I can give you all this counsel, but it won't mean a damn thing until you get in the class. And he put me on to the classes here in, you know, in Atlanta. And from that point, I learned about who I was, what demons were, the problems that I was going through and how to fight those problems. So it then formed me into the man that you see now. No longer are the days where I have to suffer that fate that I had before, because I'm living a righteous lifestyle. And then on top of that too, I'm stronger now, but it's because of the ISUPK.
Okay, so we see you separate from heaven a lot, throughout the dark side. Have you been in contact with her? Like, are you able to see her, visitation or anything like that?
No. Across the board, no. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Have you tried to reach out to her?
Yes. Yes. All the time.
And then, so I know you have your own story. You had your own story you wanted to tell. But what was the inspiration for the Dark Side series? Was it just, hey, let me get my story out, or did you want something bigger to come from it?
Yeah, so the Dark Side series, what I want to come out of it, like the goal, the whole purpose of it is for brothers, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indigenous brothers to know that I know what you're going through. Black fathers, I know what you're going through. Here is somebody finally telling the tale of what we go through in the dark. There's this idea that men cry in the dark. We do a lot of shit in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Not just cry, but we suffer in the dark. And I wanted to put that burden on my back, go back into that feeling of what it was like at that time, in order to display and illustrate to Black people, period, not even just men, like, this is what we go through. You always hear the mother side of the story. You never hear the dad side of the story. All of our stories don't look the same. The idea is, you're a father, you're not around your kid, you out having sex and having fun. I wasn't having fun at all, as you can see.
Right, yeah.
And I know a lot of brothers who are not having fun. It's not fun raising your child through a FaceTime, not being able to touch or hug the thing that you helped to create, to have that ripped away from you. Somebody has to tell a story, so I decided to do it.
And what made you decide to do it now? What made this feel like the right time for a project as ambitious as Dark Side?
It was just kind of like it was like the right time. I just think something was like, yo, just do this. I was seeing a lot of other fathers talk about it too. Like, like somebody was like, brothers are asking for stories like this to be out. And I was getting tired of all the rhetoric that I would see online about it. It's like, Black men this, Black y'all ain't this, y'all like, nah, that ain't always the case though. You know what I mean? Like, if Black men ain't this and we ain't that, what is the mother that is keeping the child away from the dad? You're holding brothers' kids hostage because you didn't like the way they talked to you. You didn't like the way it ended. So that warned sisters, some of them, sisters to strip the child away from the father. The kid suffers.
Right.
The kid is going to suffer. So, yeah.
So, in doing this series, what would you say, like what advice or what sort of guidance would you say to a father going through something like what you went through, or a mother on the edge or on the verge of doing something similar? Like, what advice would you give to that family, that young family, as they're going through these trying times, I guess?
I would tell the sisters to basically look at everybody around you and then listen to what your man is saying. Because the doctors who dig inside your woman and, that OBGYN person that you love and you trust so much is not going to tell you about postpartum depression. They'll tell you about birth control and how that's important, but they don't prep you for that demon that's coming. So listen to your man, because he's going to know. And to the brothers, stay strong. Stay strong, you know, because her demon could easily become yours. And it's going to if you allow it. But you got to let her know what time it is, too. You got to let her know, like, listen, I know this is on you, but she has to want to fix it. But I tell her, brothers, be strong and don't jeopardize your integrity. You know, don't go crawling into a bottle or a crack pipe or whatever your vice is. Don't do that, because you would be a part of the statistic that says that we ain't shit.
So, I think probably the last thing I would want to ask, or at least I would say offer up this time for, what, if anything, would you say to heaven right now if she was here?
I'm here. I never left. I love you, obviously. And Daddy did all of this for you. You know, that's what I would tell her. All of this. You know, the podcast, the series, and, you know, having to tap back into who I used to be in order to flesh out the character for the series. I did all of this just for you, so you could know my side. That's what I would tell her.
That's one lucky young lady. And I want to thank you again just for taking this little bit of time out of your day just to share with us a little bit of your story.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, and it was absolutely amazing to hear. Again, thank you again.
Thank you, sister. What is it? You said your podcast?
Podcast.
That's pretty clever.
It's pretty clever. My husband gave it to me.
Oh, nice. Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
All right.
Welcome to Atlanta.
That was amazing. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. I mean, I'm really glad you were here. You know, you're an amazing guest.
Thanks.
Your story is super interesting. But I mean, you know, off the record.
Yeah.
So you said
Off the record.
off the record. I mean, off on the record, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned having to fight these demons.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at you. Like I said, I don't see no demons on you.
Yeah.
Is that fight over? Is that something you still fight with?
You know, there was an old me before. The scripture mentions, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, how you got to get rid of the old man, you know, and you never really get rid of him. You just got to knock him out, and you got to keep knocking him out, because if you don't keep fighting him, he will get up. And I made a promise to myself, and a promise to people that I know and people that I care about, and my daughter, that I won't let that old man rise again. So every day, to your question, every day, I got to keep fighting to knock this guy out.
Pray for my demons. They thought I'd be dead by now. Whoa. Pray for my demons. I don't think they're ready now. Whoa. I know it kills them to see me win. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it kills them to see me win. So I'm gonna win again, win again. So
to Atlanta. Price is Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's class. April the 11th, we got the black party that's gonna have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under Commander Junior Hunter.
Our great and holy King have honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. There's no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom.
Hello.
Officer, I call it.
That's a young man. But he's a white.
Oh, that young man. Oh, okay, okay. Cartier is on, man. You know, sometimes.
It looks like it's picking us up.
I was gonna say.
Oh, I think that's the camera speaker.
I think I got some clarity in the trunk too. I don't want.
I don't think I need none of that.
Oh, yeah. It's non-drowsy, but it's a lot of cool.
Nah, because that's that allergy medicine.
Oh, that's what that is. They had dried my I guess I use it for my allergies and stuff like that.
Oh no. Oh no. Who did it? Who did Daddy get him? Daddy, no, Daddy get him. Daddy get him.
Yeah, I hate myself.
You know. Oh, who did it? Point him out. The guy up here? Daddy get him. Daddy would get him. Daddy get him. Okay, all right. Daddy get him. Daddy gonna get him. I go get him right now. Daddy go get him right now. I'm going right now. I'm out of here.
I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. And in my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. Now my friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. Now I came back to let you know got a thing for you, and I can't go. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. And in my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do.
Check, 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 check. Can I be heard on the live? Yeah, I couldn't find my phone back there. Check, check. I could probably do it like this though. You can hear me on the StreamYard. Go, settings. No, don't add that. Settings. Right? Audio. Let me see what the audio box is. Go up. Right there. Drop down. Audio box. Can I be heard? Hold on. I think we to let me see. It just got staticky. Go back to the other one.
It's clear.
It's clear.
It sounds like it's coming through a little louder than normal.
Okay, so maybe lower my voice a little bit. You can still hear it on the stream. Your man Justice, how it sounded for us right there. How we looking, young man? Let us know. Let us know what's good. Sister Yakala, Shalom. It's clean, no static. He said it's Tuab. Okay, okay, okay. So ain't nothing left to do but to do it. All right, let's take this intro from the top. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street. Oh, Salakia, Sister Destiny. Shalom, sis. Tell you what, I say, y'all Bashim, y'all Shabbat. Shalom, sis. The water for checking in. The water. Okay, so let me check this private chat because we got somebody. Oh, sound is Tawab. How you call on the stream? You can add him to the stream. Okay, let's take it from the top. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commander General Yohana, the only man that has been ordained to lead all of Israel to Christ. All right. Now, since 1969, we have been teaching that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true Israelites according to the Bible, archaeology, and history. Okay. Now, this history is not his story, but it's our story. Okay. We're going to get into where in Atlanta we teach that these scriptures are ours. This is our history. This is our book. These are our scrolls. Okay. This is how we know that we are the people of the book, because we the only people that this book describes. Okay. We're gonna get into how, in fact, our forefathers made a covenant with the Most High that only pertains to us, and this covenant, like I said, only pertains to Israel. You need a Bible, everybody. To Okay. Okay. I don't know how we gonna go ahead and get this, because I'm not sure if y'all can be heard. Is that on? That can't be on.
Mic check, mic check.
Can you hear the trooper in the school,
Yo, man, sir.
Salakia? Can you hear the brothers in the school? Because that whole mixer is off. So even if we turn on the receiver, it's not.
Salaki, sir. We just need to lift up our voice a little bit. In the
Probably.
meantime, just for the second time.
Let me see what it sounds like. What you got out?
Yeah, yeah, the troopers reading, speaking in the school is kind of low, sir.
It's kind of low. All right, let's see if he raises his voice if that'll help.
Mic check, mic check.
That's toward.
Yeah. Got to use the outside voice. Okay. Okay, Most High in Christ. Now we know, and that's how it's going to go. Okay, so tonight, our story is pointing us in the direction of Noah. Okay? Noah has a lot of revelations for us. And by us, of course, I do mean Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. What tends to happen is whenever our story is told by somebody else, they tend to add the 3 M's to it. And we know what those 3 M's are. And what are those 3 M's?
Salaki, sir. If I could.
What you got out?
Magic,
Magic,
mysticism, mythology.
and mythology. Those are the 3 M's that they add to our scrolls. All right? To our records. And we here to take those shenanigans off. We here to show you how a black man book is interpreted by none other than a black man. Okay? It wasn't for them, that's why they can't understand it. All right? We did Adam a few weeks ago. We keep pushing through. We got Noah this week. So we're going to start in the book of Genesis, of course. And we're going to go to chapter 7. We're going to take it from verse 1. And we're going to break down what Noah was about, what all happened, what took place, what he represents, why he did it, everything. Salaki, sir, if I may, knock in Hebrew. Salakiak, I'm not sure what you mean by that. What do you mean by that? Knock in Hebrew. All right, let's go ahead and read that.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 7 and verse 1.
Right.
And the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Verse 2. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens.
Actually, let's go back to chapter 6. Salat. Let's take it from chapter 6. We take it from chapter 6. We're going to run through it because it's a lot of points in chapter 6 that we got to hit. And then we take it from chapter 7 because go ahead.
Verse 1 at the top. This book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Verse 2.
Right.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
Now, that right there already spurs some doctrine, some mysticism, some mythology right there. Right? The sons of God sees daughters of men. What does that mean? What does that mean? Somebody help me. the sons of God sees these daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. What you got?
The daughters of men, the daughters of the Most High, I mean the sons of the Most High, be us. Fair means pretty women.
Okay.
Fair, they took, basically, they married.
Right. That's exactly what that means. Get that brother a hand. That's exactly what that means. Okay? These sons of God, right? And right there, we see this word God. And this is what gets them thrown off. These sons of God, they have doctrines where they believe these sons of gods are angels. They believe these are angels, celestial bodies, right? That then take sons of men, right? But this word, God, is Alahayim, which simply means power, authority, rulers. So these sons of the rulers, and who is the ruling class of this day? Do we know? Nah, the day of Noah. During the time of Noah, who was the ruling class? Yabashimi Yashabrak Gakawan. Salakia, he says Salakia, sir. Noah and Lashawan Kodash. Oh, okay, knock in Hebrew. Khan. The water. And then we say Gakawan has Romans 8 and 14. Let's see what that's about. Somebody get me Romans chapter 8 and verse 14. Let's see what that's about. Israel are sons of God. Luke 3, yeah, and 38. Luke 33 and 38. Yeah, kind of. Well, I think it's, yeah. Israel are sons of God, but at this time, this is before Israel. The sons of God were the chosen people who were the Adamites, who was Adam and his generation. We can see that in the chapter right before at the top. All right. It says in chapter 5 and verse 1, this is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them and blessed them and called their name Adam. That's the whole people, right? Just like there's a man, Israel, and there's a nation, a people, Israel. There is a man, Adam, and there is a nation, a people, Adam. Right? What you got? Yashkuta. What you got, Hebrew? He got distracted. No sweat. What you got?
So is that why at different times men of the Lord had to be were buried by period almost, because technically they were all in the same nation. So one of the chosen people of God during that time in that generation mentioned in the Bible, he wasn't sort of like how Adam wasn't alone and he had relatives.
Right.
He received like a rib from his relatives.
Right.
There were relatives of the people descended from Adam too that just aren't mentioned. So when there was somebody special enough and important enough to the Most High, and that was the person to look towards when they passed.
Yeah.
For example, they'd be up in check, because then the people who saw it happen would be like relatives of him.
Damn right. Like that's absolutely right. Like if you could see that in, I believe it's chapter 4, the chapter right before. No. It is chapter 5. Salakia. If we read down, it says in verse 3, and Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness after his image and called his name Seth. And after the days of Adam, he begat Seth were 800 and some years, and all the days of Adam, and actually it didn't say that he begat more children. Salakia. What happens is, oh yeah. Look down in verse 10. This is an example. And Enos lived after, look at verse 9. And Enos lived 90 years and begat Canaan, right? So we see Enos is the next son from Seth, and he begat Canaan. That's who you follow. That's who the bloodline, that's who the birthright goes to, right? But then it says, and Enos lived after he begat Canaan 850 and 15 years and begat sons and daughters. There's more than just that one, right? So we see that it spreads out. However, we're looking at the birthright, the promise, going from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, right? Even though these are still his people, right? Is no different than a line of kings, right? The king comes from Judah, and then from David, and then David and his son to his son, and his son to his son. But David had many sons. Right? They're still the people, but they're not the top. That's all that is. So you're absolutely right. All right? You're absolutely right. They're still, we just looking at the man, Adam, and his people. Then the man Seth and his people. Then the man Enos and his people. Then the man Canaan and his people, all the way down to here in verse 6. Now we're back to verse 6. Salakia, chapter 6. All right. Now we're at Noah and his people. And Noah and his people were the sons of God. That's who that is speaking of. And they saw the daughter of men, the other people. This is who, what's your man's name? What's that dude? Cain. This is who Cain went and got wives from, all these other nations, other people, right? Those people would breed the daughters of men, right? But being that we lay with them, how do we know this guy? How do we know the birthright? No sweat. You two are. How do we know, not necessarily the birthright, Salaki, how do we know who and what pertains the promise? How do we know the lineage, the pedigree of the person? Through the father. So that's why we see the sons of men. And can you prove that though? Can you prove that? Yeah. Because we just talking. If we just say the father, we got to prove that. Like right now, we still reading the Bible and taking everything out of the Bible. But to prove that the lineage comes from the father, how will we do that? Hey, you better phone a friend, ask one of your partner them. Because I'm telling you, bro, these are milk scriptures that we have to have in our arsenal. How do we prove that it's the father determines the pedigree?
Numbers 1 and 18.
Bingo. The book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18. That's how we prove it. Read it real quick. And while you read it, can I get a brother to put a little more scrimp in my cup, Baba Kashan?
the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families.
Right.
By the house of their fathers.
That's how they did it right there. Through the house of their fathers. That's right. Justice, you're a little slow on the draw. You're a little slow on the draw, but that's damn right. Numbers 1 and 18. Young man crushing it out here. Know that. Right? So, by the sons of God being the people of Adam, Noah and his people, looking at these daughters of men, right? These other nations, which is breaking what commandment? Why is that a problem? That's what I should have said, Salaki. Why is that a problem?
Breaking the commandment, Deuteronomy 7 and 3.
Deuteronomy 7 and 3. But wait a minute. Hold on. That's the Mosaic law, right? That's way off in Deuteronomy. How does that apply here? This is how it applies here. The what? This is how it applies here. Right? Is by seeing that this is a problem. This is a problem. So go back to verse 3 in chapter 6.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6.
Actually, read verse 2 first.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 2.
Right?
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
Right?
And they took them wives of all which they chose.
So this is how you prove. This is how you show it right here. So we got the daughters of the daughters of men getting with the sons of God. So one nation going with another nation. His chosen people going with the not chosen people. Right? Read.
Verse 3. And the Lord said,
what did he say?
My spirit shall not always strive with man.
He pissed about it.
For that he is also his flesh. It's like it is flesh.
Right.
Yet his days shall be 120 years.
So we got to cut him off. He's not always going to strive with men. Right? With man, because he's seeing that we going off. And he like, look, we got to cut him off. Because he's steady going off. That's a problem. Right? Read verse 4.
Verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days.
Giants. So these are like large humans, right?
Nah, sir.
No?
Nah, sir.
What that mean?
It's just the big dogs of the earth at that time, the leaders, the mighty men, the rulers, the movers, the shakers.
That's right. That's right. That's who they talking about. Because then it goes on to say what? Giants in the earth in these days. Read.
And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men,
yeah,
and they bare children to them,
right?
The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown.
These are those giants. These mighty men of renown. They got names that are bigger than big. If I go anywhere and I say Denzel Washington, he's a giant. That's a big name. Everybody know who you talking about. You go anywhere and say Donald Trump. You go to the most rural village in China and you say Donald Trump, they would know exactly who you're talking about. That's a giant. Everybody can see him. He's so big. Everybody can see him. You got to understand how we speak. That's big dog. That's big bruh. Right? He on top. Everybody know him. Big baller. Big. Right? Read on.
Verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
So we got some, it's just wickedness going on in the earth right now. This is painting a picture that there's only wickedness going on in the earth right now. Right? However, we about to beat a Christian down with this next verse. Give me verse 9.
Oh, God. These are the verse 9 is, these are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generation.
And what?
And perfect.
So you mean to tell me, with all this wickedness going on in the earth, we have a what kind of man? Read that again.
Perfect in his generation. And Noah walked with God.
Right. Perfect? I thought no man could be perfect. I thought only Christ was perfect. Because what does this say? Who else was perfect? Yahushua was definitely perfect. Every Christian, there's not a Christian on earth that's going to combat the notion that Christ was perfect. Right? But this is where they go south. This is where they go wrong. When they say only Christ was perfect. Because right here it says, what? Read that.
Oh, God. Noah was a just man.
Noah was a just man and
perfect.
Perfect. Read on.
Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations.
And
Noah walked with God.
Noah walked with God. Perfect. And walked with God, even though all this wickedness around him. You know what that tells me? What you got? That is possible. That's exactly right. That's what it tells me. That even in this captivity, even with all this wickedness around me, I can still be perfect like my Father in heaven is perfect. The same charge that Yahushua gave all men. And by all men, I do mean all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because this is not their law. By they, I do mean the white man. I do mean the Chinaman. I do mean the African. I do mean the Arab. I do mean the Russian. I do mean anybody other than Blacks, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, so-called Mexicans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Hondurans, Venezuelans, the Brazilians, so-called Native Americans, Cherokee, Choctaw, Blackfoot, like it don't matter. So-called. That's what I'm talking about. We can be perfect because this is our law that is given to us, and we can keep it perfect. Right? So we got to end that nonsense that Christians be talking. Nobody can keep the law. I think that's rubbish because we see Noah keeping the law right here. He didn't marry a daughter of men. He married in his people. Quick example. I just brought this out the other day with a discussion with a brother. Go to Genesis chapter 3, right before this. Right before this. Genesis chapter 3. No, Salakia. Genesis chapter 4. and read for me start at verse 2.
Genesis 4, chapter 2.
Right?
And she again bare his brother Abel.
Right?
And Abel was a keeper of sheep.
So Abel kept sheep. Right? Read.
But Cain was a tiller of the ground.
And in contrast, we have Cain that was a tiller of the ground. So we got a shepherd and a farmer. Right? Read verse 4.
And Abel.
No, Salakia, 3. Salakia.
Verse 3. And in the process of time, it came to pass.
Right?
And Cain brought up the fruit of the ground and offering unto the Lord.
So where did he get his fruit to give to the Most High? Where does his offering come from? How do we know how to give offerings? Where did that come from? Offerings. What you got?
What we give offerings for, used to serve when it comes from like apologize, like when you been said or something, to say you apologize, you burn the offering to the Most High.
That's a sin offering, right? That's a specific type of offering. That's not what Cain is giving here. That's not what. Where do we know how and where to give offerings? How, where, when, what offerings? Where did that come from? Why is Cain giving an offering right here? Where did that come from? You gotta keep it close, man. I got like 12 brothers in this classroom, and ain't nobody gonna give me the answer to that. Where do we know to give offerings? It's a simple answer. I don't need a book, chapter, verse. This is really just.
Oh, Salaki, sir.
Yeah, come on.
From the Most High.
From the Most High, but specifically where? Because the Most High gives us prophecy. The Most High gives us favor. The Most High gives us a lot of things. But what did the Most High give us that encompassed this action right here? Offerings. I like what the brother said. Hey, man. But what is that? Hey, I need a general answer. I like that. Young man Justice just hit me with Leviticus chapter 23. And what is Leviticus chapter 23? It's known as the what? It starts with an L and ends with an A. Oh, we got an officer here, man. We had to get the officer to get it. What you got?
Law, sir.
The law. That's how he knows to give an offering. The law. Because contrary to Christian belief, the law existed from chapter 2 in Genesis. We see it. We see it right there. I'm a little nervous. Hang on. Most High Christ. So, from Genesis chapter 2, we see the existence of the law, right? Where do we see that in Genesis chapter 2? Real quick. This is strictly for the brothers in the class, all right? This is for you, young man Justice. This is for Gakawan. Oh, snap. I didn't get that Romans 8 and 14. I don't even know what he's talking about. I'm going to go get that. But everybody else, get me the answer to. I gave you the chapter. Just give me the verse where we see the law being instituted and maybe a precept to back it up. From chapter 2. And I'm going to go get what you talking about, Gakawan. I don't even know what you talking about, Gakawan. You trip. He said Adam on the 7th day. What do you mean by that? I don't. What are you answering right there, young man? You said Adam on the 7th day is where we saw the law being instituted. I get what do you mean? Like the law of the Sabbath being instituted? That's a specific law. I need the law in general, the whole law. What you got?
Verse 7, it said, Genesis 2 and 7.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
Yep.
Breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
The breath of life.
Well, that's cold.
There it is. There's the law right there. There it is. Most High in Christ. There's the law right there. The water, true? The water to itself. We see the breath of life right there. And what we precepting with that with? To bring it home to the ignorance. What you got?
Colossians 1 and 15.
Colossians 1 and 15. I wouldn't have gone there, but give it to me. Let me see. Let me see. I'll rock with you. Let me see. Because I was going somewhere else. He said, Salaki, sir, Hebrews 4, it was spiritual birth, not actual. I think you're going to, you're painting with a broad brush. All right, we need to really, we need to keep it simple. Okay, Hebrews 4, it was spiritual birth, not actual. I'm not 100% what you mean. If you can get on the stream, bro, like I can really walk down what it is that you're talking about, but I'm not 100% sure where you're going with this. Because it seemed like you hitting it, you making it too broad. But I like what you, I like the, you thugging with me, and I appreciate that. But I think we may be a little off. But Gakawan said 8 and 14. But put ye on the Lord, Yahushua Christ, and make not provisions for the flesh to fulfill the lusts thereof. I don't even know why you talking about that, but that's nice. I mean, every scripture is like that. That's cold. But to be honest, I don't even know why you took me there. I don't even remember what we were talking about to be like why this is pertinent. I don't think we talked about anything to make this pertinent. Maybe help me out. But yeah. So I need a precept. You said Colossians 1 and 14?
15, sir.
1 and 15? What'd that say?
Book of Colossians, chapter 1 and verse 15.
Right, read.
Who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature.
Okay. We talking about Christ here. That's not the law. What you got?
Ezekiel 37, 4 and 5.
Read.
Again, he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones and say unto them.
That's cold. That works. That works. Read.
Oh, ye dry bones. Hear the words of the Most High.
This is what you do. We got dry bones. We got death. Hearing the words of the Most High. This law. Read.
Thus said the Lord God unto these bones. Behold,
I
will cause breath to enter into you.
There's the breath of life. There's the breath of life. Read.
And you shall live.
There it is. There's the breath of life. The words of the Most High. The law. Look like you got something. What you got?
Slide Isaiah 42 and 5.
Oh, snap. Come on.
Thus saith God the Lord. He that created the heavens. And stretched them out.
Okay.
He that spread forth the earth.
Okay.
and that which cometh out of it.
Uh-huh.
He that giveth breath to
Okay.
people upon it,
Mm-hmm.
and the spirit to them that walk therein.
The breath is the spirit to them that walk therein. That's the way to go. That breath, that spirit. All right? And then to the end all say all is really Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. But I really like that Ezekiel. That was cold. All right? Because we see them coming to life. But the thing about that is it's kind of a prophecy, but you see how it works. Right? You see the law being preached, right? The words of the Most High being spoken, and life being given, right? So I'm with it. But Baruch chapter 4, verse 1 is the end all say all right there. So put that in your wheelhouse, write that down, jot that down, and we go back to Noah. Let's go back. Because here we have a man who is following the law, statutes, and commandments, keeping all of them perfect, as it says in, I think it was verse 9 of chapter 6, right? We see this man is perfect, right? Now, take it from there. Let's take it from there, and we're going to go down to verse 14. Yep. Oh, Salaki, did anybody bring out Baruch 4 and 1? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Bring that out. Baba Kachak. He said, Salaki, sir, Hebrews 4. Oh, he didn't clarify. Salakia. Oh, snap. Salakia. Alawat Panya. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah. Yad Yamatat. You may be seated. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah. Adawat. Alawat. Commanding General Yohana has checked in with us. Clap it up for Commanding General Yohana. Can we put that on the screen, Baba Kasha? Okay. Most High Christ.
Continue, sir.
Khan.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever.
Right.
And they shall keep, it shall come to life.
There you go. The book of the law, if you keep it, there's the life. Read.
But such as leave, but such as leave it shall die.
And there's the death. There's the death. There's that surely die that the Most High told Adam about. It's right there. It's right there. You see that? And that life is the law. That's the life. Okay? It's simple. It's not a hard thing to understand. It might be for Christians though. But here, before here, in I believe it was chapter 4, we saw Leviticus chapter 23 being rolled out, right? We saw Cain giving the fruit of the ground. Let's actually go back there. Give me chapter 4, verse 3.
God. Genesis 4 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
That was his offering. The fruit of the ground. However, read.
God. Verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
So we got a farmer and a shepherd. The farmer brought the fruit off the ground. That's not your best. That's not your first fruits. And he said, Salaki, sir, if I may, can I use Isaiah 55 and 3 with Baruch 4 and 1? Somebody give me Isaiah. Actually, you stay where you at, because I need you to keep reading Genesis for me. And somebody else get me Isaiah 55 and verse 3. But read on.
And of the fat thereof.
Right.
And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
That's how you get respect. Is by doing what the Most High told you to. You see that he gave the firstlings of his flock. Whereas you have Cain, Salakia, excuse me, that gave the fruit off the ground. He didn't give his first fruits. He didn't give his best. But the only way we know that, the only way we see what to give the Most High is by the law. So obviously they had to have what? The law. Right? More examples with my boy Noah. But give me who got Isaiah 55 for me? What you got?
Book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 3.
Right.
Incline your ear and come unto me.
Right.
Hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David.
Okay. I would have to say la'ah. I wouldn't precept that with Baruch 4 and 1, because that's the difference between the law in general and the covenant itself. I know a lot of people conflate the covenant with the law, but the covenant came with the law. Okay, that's like how would I say? It is a stipulation. It is a stipulation, but think of more like an ingredient. That's an ingredient in the covenant. All right. So I don't want it to just look like, I like stipulation because if you don't keep the law, then you break the covenant. So I like it as a stipulation. But even in the covenant, it has a stipulation for if you don't keep it. You see? And we see that in Deuteronomy chapter 28. If you don't keep the law, the stipulation says that you'll have these curses. But if you keep it, then you'll have these blessings. However, regardless of the blessings or curses, the covenant is still made with a specific people. right? And that's why I like to look at the law as an ingredient in there. And you can go one way or another with that ingredient, but it still is in there. And then with that ingredient, there comes stipulations. If you add salt, then it'll taste good. If you don't add the salt, then this is what's going to happen. Right? But the covenant is separate from the law. All right? But the blood of the covenant is the sacrifice which we see in the law. So one tells the other tells the one. However, the covenant comes before the law. Okay? Because he chose, and I don't want to say before, Salaki. It's not like that. It's not like he made a covenant, then he gave the law, because that's what a lot of Christians think in general, is the covenant came with Abraham, and then it went to Isaac and Jacob, and then Moses came with the law. So you see the covenant first, and then you see the law. But here we're proving in looking at Noah and the things that came before, during, and after him, that we see the law existed with him. Because we saw the covenant, the promise, the choosing that the Most High had before that. That's the only reason I said that. Because we see that the Most High chose Adam in chapter 2, right? And then we see the processes of the law also in chapter 2. It's right after. We see Adam takes a rib of his people, right? We see that right there. And then we see them go off from that in chapter 5. But in chapter 4, we see the sacrifices and how to give it. We see they know that. Right? Because this is before the law was written. That's the only thing Moses did for the law, is that he wrote it down. Before that, it was passed down verbally. Okay? There's a lot of family stories that you know, that you have, that still hasn't been written.
Right.
You know about your uncle, that story that your grandma tell, and You know about these things because that's how we, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's how we pass down tradition, pass down history. Right? But then you'll have a person that is tasked with writing it down to make sure that it's solid. That's all. That's all Moses did for the law, is just write it down. And I'm not downplaying what Moses was for us as a people. You know, he was a savior sent by the Most High for us as a people. However, it's called Moses' law for a reason. Because he wrote it down. But that's God's law. That's the Most High's law. And he's credited with writing it down. Right? What you got?
You know, would it be like a good way, like a kind of example, like Moses wrote, like these days, a contract, basically, a covenant, a contract of the law. What's the key?
I wouldn't say a contract, because the contract was made well before. But he wrote a copy of it. I would use the term copy versus a contract, because the contract already exists, and he just made he's a Xerox machine. He just wrote it down, right? And that's why to this day, Salaki. Can we put that back on the live there? Can we put that back up? Yes, Baba Kasha. All right. One more time. Alawapaya. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barakatah. Yad Yamatah. You may be seated. Shalom, Lord in Christ, Salawat. The water, sir. It's an honor. It's an honor to have you in with us today. Okay, so as I was saying, more examples of Noah doing what he did in the truth, right? Now let's go to Genesis chapter 7, and let's take it from the top. So the context is that we have Salakia, the Most High has told Noah to go ahead and make the ark, right? And now he's giving him instructions. Of how to make the ark, what to make the ark with, and all these things. And then he tells you how to fill it up. Read chapter 7 and verse 1, Baba Shah.
Genesis 7 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said unto Noah, come thou all thy house into the ark. For thee have I seen righteousness before me in this generation.
So now there's the mercy, there's the grace of the Most High. Because Noah was perfect. It didn't say his rib was perfect. It didn't say his children was perfect. But because of him doing exactly what he was told to do, that covered not only his rib, but his children too, and their ribs. He said, you and all your household, come on in here. You see that? Now that should tell my Akim something right here. That should tell my brothers something. What you got?
It tells us, like, you know, we righteous with the Most High. We got angels around our families and stuff too. You know, take our families so they, you know, they get the bride.
Damn right. Damn right. That tells you that, look, Salaki, can you keep the door closed, Baba Kasha? And Salaki, can you check on that heater? What the floor look like?
Drying up good, sir.
It's drying up good. I was thinking turn it off, but if you thinking it should stay on, Most High in Christ. Salaki, I'm really more so just concerned with the pathway from the door to the breaker box.
Come here. So just
A little bit more. Okay, because I was trying to save the gas as well. Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. All right. So, Salaki, what this tells us is that we as the head can do so much for the body and the tail, okay?
right.
It's on you, Akim, to be righteous for your rib's sake, for your kids' sake, for your kids' kids, for your kids' ribs, for your kids' husbands even. It's on you. As the head. You see what I'm saying? Most High in Christ. So now read on for me. Uh-huh.
Verse 2.
Verse 2. Read.
Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens.
Uh-huh. Wait a minute. Every what kind of beast?
Every clean beast.
Every clean beast? Take to you by how much?
By sevens.
Wait a minute. Noah went out there and got them 2 by 2. Male and female, right? That's what the little cartoon said. I saw a video just the other day that showed that that's what it showed. Noah coming in and him, and then behind him is a line of animals, 2 by 2 by 2. It's just male, female of every animal. Of every animal. But here it says clean beasts. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? Clean beasts. What does that suggest? What you got?
Beasts that are in the law is unclean to eat.
In the what?
In the law.
In the law? Wait a minute. So Noah is keeping the law here? Noah is told to bring beasts that are clean by sevens? How do we know what clean and unclean beasts are? How do we know that? Because imagine you telling your children this story. You're reading this story to your kids. Understand that our forefather Adam is a story that we teach our children, right? Our forefather Noah that we here today learning about is a story that we should be readily teaching our children. This is a children's story. Teach them about our story. Teach them about their forefathers. Noah, the great man, the perfect man. And when we're teaching them about this story, it says right here in verse 2, it says, of every clean beast. So now I'm going to play the role of the child being told this story. Dad, what do you mean clean beasts? What does that mean? And all of you are the dads, by the way. Okay? You are the fathers of these children, right? What would you say? Yeah, what you got?
Clean beasts are the beasts that we can eat.
Okay. As the child, you said the beast that we can eat. I remember you telling me about that, Dad, that we don't eat crab, shrimp, pork, lobster, those things, right? So the clean beast would be like, turkey, chicken, beef, fish, and things like that with scales that you told me about. Scales and fins. And you just made that up, Dad? How do you know that those are the clean and unclean beasts? How do you know that?
Outside told me to do it, sir.
Where? When?
Right here.
Right here?
Right here.
Right here?
Right here.
Salakia. Can you read it again? Give me Genesis chapter 7 and verse 2 again, Baba Kasha. Yeah, read it.
Genesis 7.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Of every clean beast.
Of every clean beast. Uh-huh. By 7. Read.
The male and his female.
The male 7, the female 7, right? Read.
And of the beasts that are not clean by 2.
By 2, the not clean beasts. Right? 2 what? Read.
Unclean. Oh, so
the male and his female.
2 males, 2 females. Right?
Okay.
However, that doesn't tell me what they are.
Salaki.
Uh-huh.
So we do it by the numbers.
Do it by the numbers. What do you mean?
The unclean animals are by the 7s.
Uh-huh.
And the unclean are by the 2s.
Yeah.
So I count the unclean by the 7s.
But what are the unclean? What are the clean? That's what I'm asking.
By the 7s.
Salaki, sir.
Huh?
We're basing it off of Genesis 2 and 7. Then we would say our forefather Adam was given this.
The forefather Adam was given the clean and unclean. What are the clean and unclean? That's the question. That's the question. The question is, what are the clean? I know the numbers. We just heard the numbers. We got 7 male clean, 7 female clean. We got 2 male unclean, 2 male clean. Well, female clean, unclean, right? What are they? What you got?
Okay, let's go down to verse 8.
Verse 8, okay, of chapter 2. Go.
Of clean beasts
Uh-huh.
and of beasts that are not clean,
Mhm.
and of fowls of everything that creepeth upon the earth.
So the different genres of beasts, right? That's what we're getting into right here, of the clean beasts of that are not clean, and the fowls and the things that creepeth upon the earth. So these are the land animals, the fish. Well, you don't got to worry about fish, but the land animals, the creeping, crawling things, and the birds. But what are they? Now, Salakia, before you answer that, young man Justice hit me with Leviticus chapter 11. And that's where we get the answer. The water, young man. Great answer. Let's clap it up for the young man.
That's good.
That's where we see it. That's where we see it right there. That's where we see it right there. Can somebody please tell me what the hell that is talking about? Go ahead. Yeah, Con.
Khan, this book of Leviticus, chapter 11, starting at verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
Yeah.
Verse 3, whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat.
Right.
Verse 4.
Right.
Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud.
Right.
Or them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof.
Look at that.
He is unclean unto you.
He is what?
Unclean unto you.
There's the clean and the unclean. We're not going to get into the details thereof because I think we got to save that for a law class. You check in on a Wednesday to see what that's about. That's not what this class is about. But understand that we are seeing the presence of the law, the water to you, young man, Justice, for bringing that out.
Yes, sir.
And showing us where that is, the water. Okay? Okay, we see that. Now, what you got? I read it. I'm still waiting on Gakawan to tell me why he took us there. But I'm not seeing why that's pertinent for this class, so we're not going to go down that particular rabbit hole unless he has a question there. Oh, speaking of that, do we have any questions in the class? Any questions, comments right now in the class? Let's go ahead and take a brief pause to get those questions answered. Okay, no sweat. If you do, just raise your hand or on the chat say Salakia, and we'll go on from there. I on the bar to you, young man Justice says the water. So I on the bar to you. Keep tuning in, keep doing what you're doing. This is how we take over this nation. This is how we rule this world. This by learning this laws, statutes, and commandments, learning about our forefathers, learning about who we are and why we are, and what we are supposed to do. I got a little bit. That should be tomorrow. Okay, so now we see what Noah was, right? My boy was perfect, right? He was that guy. He was him, right? Perfect in his generation. Then we see that he kept the law. And we see the presence of the law because we got clean and unclean beasts. And it ain't two. It's either 2 male, 2 female of the unclean, or 7 male, 7 female of the clean. Bro, I would drop the mic right there for any and every Christian that has ever told this story. Because it's like you obviously didn't get that story that you obviously didn't get that story that you told. Look at any animation, any recreation of the story of Noah, and it's bullshit. Slocky. I don't even know another term to use. I have no other term to use other than pure and unadulterated bullshit. That's what they teach you in the Christian church. That's what they give you. They're not giving you Bible because the Bible says otherwise.
Right.
99% of what they come up with, you cannot find in the Bible. And you won't find. He says, Salakia, sir, if I may. Human is noted as a Maccabean, Amalekite. Does Josephus also answer that Esau took over, took over Kemet, sir? In First Maccabees, it also says Philip II is from Kemet. It doesn't say Philip. It actually Philip is a Macedonian, and that's like a Greek area. That's where the Greek took over. I believe Macedonia primarily was like from Italy to Turkey. So it could be anywhere between that area is where Philip, the conqueror, was from. But Philip the Macedonian is the father of Alexander the Great, or Alexander the Greek, depending on however you want to name him. Sir Shemit, Cyprus. Yes, Cyprus. Yeah. That. Okay, so that is an island in that region. He might be from there. I'm not 100% sure, but it's all under the same rulership. I don't think it really matters. But you're saying, Salaki, sir, Shemit is another word, sir. Okay, you're not talking about Kemet in terms of it being Egypt, because that's another term given to Egypt, and that I think it's the northeastern portion of Africa. So it's not just Kemet, but it kind of goes down. It's not just Egypt, but it goes down into the Horn, like where right now is Eritrea and Ethiopia, and all of those areas would be where quote unquote Kemet was. But the people are different people that are there now. But let me see. Let me see if I'm answering your question. It says Haman, not human. I read that wrong. Haman is noted as a Macedonian. Yes. The Edomite. Yes. Does Josephus also say that Esau took over Kemet? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you. I'm not 100% on the writings of Josephus. I never read the entire thing. I did cite it for certain reasons in talking about the Sabbath, Passover. He talked about like the time of those things in terms of what was custom at that time. And I think that was around like that was after 70 AD. So I do know of Josephus being the traitor that he was, but I never really got I never took a deep dive into his writings, nor did I read the entire volume of his writings. So I can't answer that as of right now. I wouldn't try to. I would have to do more studies to answer that. I would have to read the writings of Josephus. I would have to ask my Adawanium after I read it, like, you know, the ins and outs and the particulars. But generally, it says in First Maccabees, it also says that Philip II is of Kemet, is of Cyprus. Yes, it does say that because that is where he is from. He is a Macedonian. That is the area or territory of Macedonia. But I can't get into Josephus because Josephus didn't even exist during the time of the Maccabees. This is hundreds of years later, like about 300 years later to be exact. To be more exact, I'm being general, but is after 70 AD. The siege of the temple was like 200 BCE, sometime around there. So we're talking about hundreds of years afterward. So, like I said, I wouldn't try to answer that. I'm gonna have to do some more research myself, and I would actually say the best person to ask about that would be the person I would ask, and that would be Captain Kataza. When I actually read this, he is like one of the best historians in all of Israel in terms of knowing that type of thing. So that's who I would send you to check in with Captain Kataza for Cross the Line every Thursday. I think it starts at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Get in the live, put your question in the chat. They don't really check the chat on there. You would have to call in. You would have to call in or get on the live to get that question answered. Yeah, so that's what I would say about that. Salakia, I wasn't able to answer that question fully. But like I said, I'm gonna do some research, but it's gonna take me a couple of months to actually be able to answer that question. And I like the path that you're pushing me down because I will take that time to try to figure that out for you in due time because I still got other things I gotta do. Salakia. But I will get that because honestly, that's for academic sake. That's not Salvitic, but it's definitely, good to know. It's good to know. The water for the question, Salakia for the lack of answer. I'm gonna go back to Genesis chapter 7, and we're gonna jump down to, because we gotta clear up a lot of this nonsense that they say about my forefather. And we're gonna go to we don't have much time. Let me see, Salakia. It says, and spake Noah saying, go forth. No. God bless Noah and his son. Give me chapter 9 and start at verse 1.
Fill out one card. Genesis 9 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them,
Mm-hmm.
Be fruitful and multiply.
Look at that. We heard that before.
That's right.
Read.
And replenish the earth.
Uh-huh. Read on.
Verse 2. And the fear of you and in dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all that fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered.
This is dominion on another level, right? You see that? This is dominion on another level, because the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom.
Right.
Right? So on another level, we see that the animals feared man, and that was the wise ones amongst them. These are the ones that were saved or rescued from termination. Right? Read on.
But I want God. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you.
Read.
Even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat.
So once again, we see in the law, the Most High is reestablishing the fact that we do not consume the blood of the animal. We cook it. Simple. Do not eat these things raw. You cook it. This is a reiteration of the law. Right? And it says, now this is dope, because why don't they use these Christians, right, to say that we can eat crab, shrimp, pork, and lobster? Why they don't use this? You know why?
It's be simple. They don't know what the Bible says.
Because they don't know the Bible. This is something you will never have to battle a Christian on. I'm telling you. They don't even know this verse exists. I'm telling you. But even if they did, chronologically, you see Leviticus chapter 11 comes after this. What you got?
Like, so you do have, those Edomite Christians that love them with bloody steaks. Like,
They do. And they can have that bloody steak. They say just, what they say, drag it across the fire. Whisper. They say whisper fire on it and put it on my plate. Well, you better cook my damn steak. I'm trying to tell you. All right? You better cook it. Medium or better. All right? Because if you cut it and it bleed, you better put that back on. Okay? It's simple. Now, don't be fooled by color, my brothers. Now, that's something that people get fooled by. They see a little pink and they think that, hey, that ain't cooked. Nah, that ain't what that mean. Hey, Thomas! Hey! Ooh-wee! You better know it. That brother knows something right there. That brother knows something. Ooh-wee! Yes, sir. And just know for Passover, hey, check us out for the lamb slaughter, because these same two brothers right here will be on the grill for the lamb slaughter, okay? Know that. Okay? They were here for the Atlanta cookout. We gonna run it back. Okay? We gonna run it back for the lamb slaughter. Come out and check with us for the lamb slaughter, all right? And I believe that's on the 9th. Let me get my calendar, Salaki. I believe that's April 9th. Before I repeat it, let me make sure. That's March. And April 9th, yes, Wednesday, April 9th will be the lamb slaughter. Come and check us out.
Guaranteed the meat will be seasoned.
The meat will be seasoned and it will be fully and thoroughly cooked. Okay? Understand that. Okay? And on the 10th, we have the scripture breakdown taught by General Mahiaman. None other. Okay? And on the 11th, we have a few things. On the 11th. Okay? We have the Hebrew Academy graduation, Lord allow.
That's right.
Hey, somebody. I'm trying to be in that number. All right. We also have the Black Party. All right.
So, Locke, I think the 10th is the Hebrew
Oh.
trials too.
The trials is the 10th. Oh, no sweat. We ain't inviting nobody to that. Don't worry about that. Yeah, that's fine. That's if you ain't get the message, don't come. That's not for you. All right. All right. However, we got the Black Party. All right, we're gonna turn up. Okay, we got the graduation on that Friday. Come check us out. Come lift your brothers up. You know what I mean? For the Black Party, we got a lot of wonderful entertainment coming out. All right. We got 144 the Rebel. We got Shar 2G, right?
That's right.
We got Nakawam. We got hella brothers coming out. We got Pastor Troy coming out. Yeah. All right, we got Pete Troy lined up. It is what it is. It's hard to not do it. We got China Monet gonna be there. That's that gal. Okay? Because we have to teach our sisters to cook, to clean. All right, you know the rest. All right, she gonna be out there for us. All right, most high in Christ for that. All right, and on the 12th, we have the 56th annual Lord's Passover. If you ain't here, I don't know where you at. I don't know what you doing. Right here in Atlanta. All right? Right here in the A. What you got out?
Like, so I know what you're not doing.
You ain't keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's right. If you ain't there, I don't know where or why. You better have a good excuse. All right? None for that. But sometimes you're missing it because, you might have some circumstances that may cause you to not be able to be present. Yeah, you may be unclean due to a baby. You may be banged up on some shenanigans. You know what I mean? Trying to get up out of Esau's clanks. All right, what you got? That's right. That's right. The Most High is going to get you here when it's time for you to be here. All right? Don't sweat it. All right? And don't forget, that ain't the last thing. That ain't the only thing. Because, yes, we have the Lord's Passover on the 12th of April. But we also, please stay tuned, because we also have the Feast of Unleavened. The opening of the Feast of Unleavened on the 13th. The very next day. According to Leviticus chapter 23. Look at that full circle, bro. We keep bringing these same scriptures back out.
Right.
All right? So please check with us. Fool with us. Come see this brotherhood, this sisterhood, this family affair. All right? Get on ISUPK.com, pay your fees, pay your tithes, get in here. All right, and with that, we'll pass the class off to Priest and Officer Fahandan, Mamasar Ban Yahawada. It's witness.
We are at ISUPK, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for the new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew. My Ishra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you gets to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations is the Feast of Purim. That'll be the 13th of March and the 14th of March, 2025. And you can find that in Esther 9:20 through 31. And don't forget, once again, we got the Passover right here in Atlanta. Come and join this brotherhood, the sisterhood, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians. We'll make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You're all invited. Be here. Make sure you be here, man. Enjoy this. Enjoy the festivities.
Right.
ISUPK, this is the Lord's 56th annual Passover, presented by ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarves. And with that, I'm going to give one courtesy salute to the men of Israel. Men of Israel, Amaju. Amaju Shabbat. Amaju. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathon. And we said translate from Hebrew to English. As Lord, bless you in the name of Christ. Down the top, hands down. You want courtesy salute to the sisters online. Men of Israel, Amaju Shabbat. Amaju. Barak. Yahweh Shema Bam Hashem Yahushua. And we said translate from Hebrew to English. As Lord, watch over you in the name of Christ. Down the top, hands down. Class dismissed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
To Atlanta. Christ, this Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's class. April the 11th, we got the black party that's gonna have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under Commander General Yohana.
Our great and holy King have honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. There's no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom.